들어왔더니 시작한 거지 이게 지금. 비교급 챕터 2 비교급 내용 섹션 203 비교급의 기본사항 older, oldest, elder, eldest 형제 자매를 말할 때 아메리칸 잉글리시에서 older, oldest 브리티시 잉글리시에서는 elder, eldest 쓴다. The older brother began to sing while the younger brother listened. My oldest brother died when he was 56. My elder brother looks nothing like me. Her eldest daughter is at university now. then 이하의 생략. 실제로 비교급을 사용한 문장을 보면 then의 주어 플러스 동사는 생략하고 단어 구절만이 남아있는 경우가 많다. 동등 비교의 경우처럼 문맥상 자명한 경우는 생략해버리기 때문에 때로는 생략된 어구가 무엇인지 모르면 의미를 파악하기 어려우므로 생략된 어구를 보충해봐야 한다. 또 then 이하를 모두 생략한 경우도 적지 않다. Some people think much more about their rights than they do about their duties. rights 뭐 권리, 명사란 권리니까 right 권리 명사고 nothing is more precious than time, yet nothing is less valuable than time. She looks better in Korean clothes. 비교급 3. 비교급을 강조하는 어구. much가 많이 쓰이지만 much와 같은 뜻을 가진 어구 or a great deal of, a lot, lots, a heap. heap이라는 건 뭐 HAP가 뭐 더미 쌓아놓은 거죠. 쌓다 더미. heaps 이 밖에 더 by far, far, still, even, yet, all the 따위도 쓰인다. The country would be a heap better off without fools like you. better off 유복하게 지내다 그렇게. 섹션 204 알아두면 유용한 비교급 구문. 동일한 사람 또는 물건의 두 가지 성질을 공유하던 more를 사용한다. The remark is more witty than just. 그의 말은 재치가 있지만 타당하지 않다. 리마크는 remarkable이라는 단어가 있죠. remarkable R-K-A-B remarkable. conspicuous 발목할 만한 할 때 conspicuous, outstanding, remarkable. noticeable. 같이 네 가지 단어를 같이 이제 모아가지고 문장에서 많이 나오는데 비교하는 두 가지 성질을 형용사가 아니라 명사로 표현할 때는 more than it was more of a challenge than a request. There was more of a threat than a request in her tone. then 이하를 단축하지 않을 때는 ER형도 쓰인다. Typing is better, neater than it is accurate. 깨끗하지만 the wall is in some places thicker than it is high. 열등 비교 less than 우리말로 표현의 묘를 살려야 한다. Less time at work than at play. Spends more time at play than at work. 영어 붙여 쓰는 건 항상 주의해서 기억을 해 두어야 하고요. Young men and young women meet each other with much less difficulty than was fortunately the case. 위에 의해서 알 수 있듯이 열등 비교는 우등 비교를 바꿔 옮기거나 동등 비교 긍정으로 옮기는 편이 좋을 때가 많듯이 최상급도 긍정은 부정으로 바꿔서 옮기는 편이 좋을 때가 많다. The time when he is least This is Friday afternoon. He came when we least expected him. Then 대신 true인 경우에 뭐와의 뜻이 포함되어 있다. 자, superior, inferior, prior, junior, senior, preferable. Most people think that the cultural people are cultural pearls are 양식진 줄 알았어? Inferior to natural pearls. In politics, England preferred evolution to revolution. She prefers watching soap opera. soap opera 뭐 연속극이죠. On TV to talking to me. Prefer to 수고로 쓰이는 문장이니까. Section 205 비교급과 더 구문상 비교급이 붙는 더는 두 종류가 있다. 아래에서 더는 그만큼이란 뜻 사이다. 글 속이나 문맥에서 at the two, of the two 둘 가운데 하나 특정화되기 때문에 더를 붙인다. The younger of the two was stronger to me. Gold and silver, the former is the more precious. The follower of the two, wiry type with dirty blonde, crew cut. crew라는 거는 뭐 승무원이라 그러죠. 보통 승무원, 뭐 비행기 승무원, 선원, 패거리 할 때 crew. crew cut hair. Had on engaging grin, 미소고, and a polite manner. 또 the upper, the lower도 상하 둘로 나눔으로 더가 붙는다. 모든 물건을 둘로 나눈 한쪽을 비교급으로 표현하면 더가 붙고 다른 한쪽도 비교급이 되며 더가 붙는다. The lower part of an airplane's wing is flat. The upper surface is convex. 평평하다는 거죠. flat. He has all the advantages being born into the upper class. The upper class 상류 계급과 the lower class 하층 계급은 복합 명사로서 항상 더가 붙는다. 더와 비교급 for, because, since 뒤 또는 앞의 to 더 비교급 또는 앞에 이유를 나타낸 어구가 있으며 더 그만큼은 그 이유에 대한 강조를 나타낸다. 또 강조하기 위하여 더의 앞에 all이나 as much. He was for the most part of trifle, the worst for liquor. 그런 것 때문에 더 악화돼요. The worst for drink. 술에 취하여 and liking all the better for the results. His none was for his fall from the window. I have a notion. The children are all the better for not being burdened with too much parental love. I hated him all the more because for a week I'd loved him with all my heart. 이유를 나타내는 부사하고 절이 없고 문맥 속에 있는 경우도 있다. I said nothing, which made him all the more angry. As the pushed and scratched. 밀치고 핥히었다. But Amos held her all the higher, all the tighter. I've read the manual, but I'm more the wiser. Manual, I've read the manual. 설명서를 보았으나 더 비교급 할수록 더욱 못하다. 더는 관계부사, 뒤에 더는 지시부사이다. The safer they feel, the sooner we'll grab them. For my part, I find that the longer I know people, the more they puzzle me. The poorer people are, the more likely they are to born to crime. 이 구문에서 비동사는 흔히 생략된다. They say the more stupid you are, the braver. The greater your achievements, the less satisfactory your personal and domestic life will be. The longer the journey, the more expensive the ticket. Money makes money. 돈이 돈을 번다. To put it another way, the greater the investment, the greater the profit. In section 206, no more than, none more than, no more than, no more than, none more than. He has no more than only, no more than only라고 쓰는 거는 시험에도 나오기도 하고, $100. None more than and most. 고작 기껏해야 no more than, not any more than. A whale is no more a fish than a horse is. 말이 물고기가 아니듯이 고래도 물고기는 아니다. 이 내용은 결국 무슨 얘기냐면은 고래는 물고기가 아니다 그 뜻이에요. 고래는 물고기가 아니다. Than a horse is. 말이 물고기가 아닌 것처럼. 말이 물고기가 아닌 것은 뭐 당연한 거고, 여하튼 이 내용에서 중심은 고래는 물고기가 아니다 이 얘기를 하는 건데, 흔히 고래 공식 사실성이 전혀 없는 첨가는 우리말로 옮긴 박테리아를 먼저 부정해야 한다. No more to blame than you are. He will leave no more trace of his sojourn on earth than a stone thrown into a river leave on the surface of the water. If a boy were playing all the day, the games would become no more interesting than work. 다음 문장도 위와 같은 형식이지만 의미는 전혀 다르므로 주의해야 된다. There is no more dangerous experiment than that of understanding to be one thing before a man's fact and another behind his back. She was never in love with me any more than I was in love with her. 이런 예문들을 기본으로 해서 그 영어 표현을 한 번씩 확인하고 예문을 확실하게 좀 그 내용을 잘 알고 있어야 하는 것이고, I don't believe in God any more than I do Santa Claus. 이 believe in은 시험에 나오기도 하는데 believe in은 영영사전에는 어떻게 쓰냐면 believe the value the existence. 가치나 존재를 믿는다 해서 believe하고 believe in을 구분하는 것이 뭐 좀 중요하게 이야기를 해요. 그러니까 뭐 보통 believe in을 얘기할 때는 존재나 가치 믿는 거니까 뭐 유신론자 할 때는 believe in God, believe in 뭐 democracy, 민주주의 가치를 믿는다. 그러니까 정치 그 선거 같은 때 이 believe in을 많이 써요. 정치에서는 어떤 뭐 가치나 이런 걸 얘기할 때가 많아서, 그러니까 believe는 believe the value, 설섭에서 영영사전으로 구분이 돼서 의미가 예문도 나오니까 표현을 잘 알고 있어야 되고. 자, 섹션 207 more than 형용사, worse than 형용사. more than 형용사, more than extremely. The be more than glad, happy, pleased, willing. If you are not satisfied with your purchase, will be more than happy to refund your money. You've been more than generous, she said. Then would you provide a reference for me? I'd be more than glad to join, but you are one of my best students. He has more than repaid my kindness. They thought of his ex-wife being married again much more than he could endure. more는 뒤에 나쁜 의미 형사원도 있다. Owens was more than just annoyed at this. 화가 났다. worse than 형용사. more than과 의미는 비슷하지만 worse than 이 뒤에는 나쁜 뜻의 형사가 온다. He gave me sedatives. They had no effect. He gave me tonics. 강장제랄죠, tonics. They were worse than useless. He's an old fool. He knew that any offer of found himself would be worse than useless. Hateful to her, strangling her. I felt worse than embarrassed when I found out that Dr. Jules Scudder's knife had cut my youth out of my body. Section 208. No less than, no less than, no less than. No less than 수량, no less than 수량. The phone bill came to no less than $100. No less than, no fewer than, as many as 200 persons died in the plane crash. In 1966, America was scorched by no fewer than 43 race riots. His monthly allowance, 용돈이죠, amounts to no less than at least $200. no less 형용사 비슷한, no less 형용사 붙여져 있는 거. 자, she was no less beautiful than her mother when it came to concealing his troubles. Tommy Wilhelm was no less capable than the next fellow. As the next fellow, it would be no less tedious. 지루하다, 지겹다. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony every day, then it would be to eat caviar. 3. No less than 내용하고 well, no less than more than horse. 이거 no less than 있을 때 고래는 이거 나온 건 뭐 no less than more. 고래가 포유동물이다 그 얘기죠. 말과 마찬가지로 whale is no less than a horse is a member. Man no less than the fewer forms of life is product of evolution. 산물이다. 이 product하고 좀 주의할 건 produce라는 거. produce가 명사로 농산물. 비행기에서 지금 뭐 입국신고서 이런 거 쓸 때 프로듀스 농산물이에요. 농산물이고 집합적 물질 명사에서 농산물이 프로덕트는 공산품이에요. 보통은 어떤 명사를 강조할 때도 no less than을 쓰는 게 맞다. No less person than the president himself no less is none other than the president. We hope to invite no less than person than a professor. Chapter 3, 최상급, Section 205, Section. 최상급의 기본사항. 1. 서술용법으로 쓰인 최상급 성관사. 브리티시 잉글리시에서는 동일한 사람 최상급이나 현재 최상급의 무관사가 원칙이나 브리티시 두 번째 아메리칸 잉글리시에서 이런 경우 흔히 정관사가 붙는다. The current is strongest in the middle of the river, though John Ford was most famous for making westerners. He also had a fondness for all things Irish. The incidence of skin cancer is highest among red-haired people with freckled skin. 주근깨가 있는. The marriage rate in the United States was the highest in the world in the years of 1944 to 1948. 브리티시 주사위 최상급일 때 무관사이전 아메리칸 중간사가 붙는다. In a fair tax system, fair 공정한 얘기인데 tax system, 조세제도. I opened up my holster, took the pistol, aimed at the one who had talked the most, and fired. That was the room that Scarlett liked the best in all the house. Maybe the last part of the symphony was the music she loved the best. It's the oldest tree because the leaves stay green the longest. They say he talks the loudest praise the loudest praise. 기도하는 거죠. Praise the loudest, sings the loudest. 3. 정관사는 대명사의 소속과 양립하지 않는다. When people regard Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in his best work, Gorbachev's greatest achievement was ending the Cold War. When he was at his best, Nicholas was one of the best golfers there's ever been. 최상급이 4. 양보이트를 가진 경우는 이분을 보충하여 해석한다. The richest man, even the richest man in the world, cannot buy everything. I don't have the slightest, faintest idea what you are talking about. By the law of nature, the stream will run down, and the strongest man cannot stop it. The slightest movement made him cry and cry out in the agony. 처음부터 이분이 붙는 경우도 많다. Even the most healthy-looking person would be carrying the AIDS virus. Even the greatest authors have written a number of very poor books. 최상급 of two. 비급을 써야 할 곳에 최상을 사용하는 것은 고어에서 많이 볼 수 있다. When 5, we reached the pecan tree. Tallest of the two, she began to climb. Which did you like best? I liked even them both. She expects me to come to her instead of her coming to me. And yet who is the biggest? Section 210. 중요한 최상급 부금. 흔히 쓰는 형식 외에 현대영어에서는 다음과 같은 부금들도 많이 씁니다. Wanted of any 단수명사 최상 뒤에는 보통 of all the 부수명사인 현대영어에서는 최상급 of any 단수명 형식도 많이 볼 수 있을 텐데 아래의 A, B 두 문장을 blending 혼합하면 바로 C가 된다. English is the largest category of languages in the world. English has a larger than any other language in the world, the largest factor in the world. 다음에 문학동시에서 용례를 들기로 한다. The highest IQ, any boy in Britain. She was the boost definitely of any of the Hamiltons except her mother. Paul had the greatest yellow hair of any girl I ever saw. He had the top fielding average of anyone ever when he played in outfield. 2. Be among the 최상급 복수명사. The one or two some of the 최상급 복수명사. Most Americans are convinced their nation is among history's most moral. Hunger, thirst, and sex are among the strongest human drives. 충동이라는 뜻이죠. Drives and Demeanors 1980. He is intricate, dark, both dark and light right up there among his very best. D에서 내용 Yuri Gagarin has the distinction of being the first man to fly in space. Seoul's taxicab drivers have the doubtful distinction of being among the most dangerous. The first horror movie to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, The Silence of the Lambs, also has the distinction of being the third movie in history to win the 5 major Oscars. With a reported budget of over 200 million, even before his release, Titanic was given the dubious honor of being the most expensive production of all time. The last three most unlikely. 최후에 할 일하는 등에서 발전하여 가장 뭐 할 것 같지 않은. The last woman in the world to commit murder. The last time I was inside a woman was when I built the Statue of Liberty. The last thing he wanted to was to go into the jungle. The very idea gave him the creeps. Probably the last thing she wanted was to be left alone with a macho man with a gun. You are the last man I should have expected to hear speak like that. Thomas Harris. Serial killer, 살인. 내용 설명 나온 거 잠깐 보시고 섹션 211 최상고의 강조 much the very by far quite yet far and away there is etc. That was much the best meal I've ever tasted. Is the very best student in the class. Without a cause. 1955 remains by far the best 1950s film dealing with the new phenomenon of teenage delinquency. 청소년 비행이냐 delinquency. 2. 최상급 비교형사 imaginable possible. 최상급 비교형사 명사 and imaginable possible. A lawyer has a duty to give his client the best possible advice. The faintest imaginable smile appeared on her lips. It looked at me as though I had committed the worst crime imaginable. 3. 이 밖에 구했으니 최성갑의 강조 표현이다. All the vicious 악당이라 그랬죠. Fellows, he is the violentest and worst by a long shot. When he was at least at his peak, Nicholas was one of the best golfers there's ever been. One of the most famous movies of all time, and quite possibly the most influential horror in history. Of all time in history. 예문들이 기본적인 예문이니까 한 번씩 확인하면서 예문 위주로 기억을 하는 것이 필요합니다. Had compete with some of the sharpest with going. 7 of the 10 worst tropical cyclones on record have been spawned in the Bay of Bengal. 4. 최상급 the two ever 강조 ever를 포함하는 관계사절을 최상급 뒤에 붙여 장조할 이 경우 관계사절이 과거 완료가 된다. He is the greatest composer that ever lived. I have ever seen in my life. Newton is considered by many to be the worst brilliant scientist who ever lived. This is the longest drought you've ever seen. 가뭄, comfort. This is the severest earthquake. The cold weather we've had for years. This is the most fascinating story the author ever wrote. The Bible is the greatest book ever written. American English에서 앨범 맞춘 경우도 있다. G. This novel of his is the worst work ever. Then we'll have the biggest breakfast ever. It made Homer feel that she was just about the best teacher ever. This month she became the youngest person ever to graduate from Oxford, taking an honors degree in math. 원급이나 추세 비교급으로 최상을 나타낼 때는 ever가 쓰인다. He is the great conductor. 지휘자죠. The Nazi state later than she had ever before. Section 212. 원급과 비교급에 의한 후차상의 표현. 부정어 so as a younger. None are so blind as those who won't use. There are none so deaf as those who won't hear. There have been many French films about World War II and the German occupation, but none as sumptuous as François Truffaut's Last Metro. As a young god, he was as honest and kind-hearted a fellow as any, and a very modest one. As 형용사, as he was a fellow as honest as any. Lots of those boys were green, as green can be. The springtime worker was unfriendly as anything could be. I am as eager to avoid as unpleasant experience as the next fellow. She was as good looking as the next girl in town. I put her as fine preaching and praying as the next one. The album was made so luxurious as fine albums could be. He knows English as well as can be expected of non-natives. Socrates was as far from being handsome as even a philosopher can be. 내용도 고쳐진 거. 자, 3. 부정어 비교급에 의한 거. Nothing is in the world is more precious than human life. Nothing is more pleasant than to take a walk along the beach. Nothing is more important than to keep the rules of the school. Nothing more depressing than spending Christmas alone. The first day I met you, I thought I'd ever seen anyone I disliked more. There never was a more honest man alive than Sam Blinks. I have never seen a more thorough examination than you were given in all my experience with this hospital. I'm never happier than when spring comes around again. She thought she could not choose a better day to go calling on him in a new dress. Father was never more angry all his life. The contrast can scarcely be better illustrated than by the following chapter. How was the movie? It couldn't be better or worse. No two brothers could be more unlikely in character. Never better. 최고입니다. 언급도 출격도 아니지만 There's nothing like 최상급 외를 붙인다. There's nothing like a good cry to get all your worries out of your system. There was nothing like a general store for collecting all the stories that were going around. There's nothing like a glass of really cold beer on a hot summer day. Section 213 최상급의 특수금은 The Caribbean missile crisis in 1960 was probably the closest we have seen to nuclear war. 내용은 이렇게 예문 위주로 한 번씩 확연을 읽어가는 것이었다. The birds. Closest Alfred Hitchcock ever came to conventional horror movie. She sort of like the mouth. Anyway, it was the closest we ever got to wrecking. The closest the United States came to declaration of war in Vietnam was Tonkin Gulf Revolution, August in 1964. The closest had ever come to boasting was he never ate mozzarella that was more than 30 minutes. The longest I have held job was 1 month. I got the impression that the nearest he had ever before been to public bar was the clubhouse of Northumberland Avenue, where he ate lunch with his colleagues from the ministry. The soonest we can have it ready for is Saturday. 동사의 법. 동사의 법에 나오는 게 밑에 이제 설명이 나오는데 무드라 그랬죠? 가정법, 직설법 이렇게 그런 표현들을 명령법, 인디카티브 무드, 임페라티브 무드, 직설법이다, 명령법, 가정법 이런 것을 구분해서 문장 예문들을 형태를 구분해서 예문들을 정리하는 거니까 결국 여기 예문들이 기본적인 예문들이니까 그걸 중심으로 해서 이렇게 내용을 영어 문장이 좀 친숙하게 편하게 좀 쉽게 이해가 될 수 있도록 항상 그 예문을 중심으로 기억을 하고 문법적인 것은 뭐 거기에 도움이 되면 갖다 붙이는 거니까 그 예문을 항상 주의해서 잘 살피면은 그것이 쉽게 또 정확하게 알 수 있는 내용으로 392페이지까지 오늘 지금 본 것은 392페이지까지이고 다음에는 이제 14장 동사의 법에서 다음에 나온 내용은 웜업, 인디커티브, 임페러티브, 서브전티브, 가정법 다음에는 이 동사의 법을 내용을 예문 중심으로 보려고 합니다. 종료합니다.